Hey guys, it's Captain C.A. Richardson with FlatsClass YouTube. We're back. I'm going to take a break here in a minute. I've been doing a lot of chores and I've been filling up my dumper here full of fill and taking it back to the pistol stop that I built a couple of YouTube videos ago. You can check it out here on this channel if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Building your own backyard shooting berm. But I'm going to take a break and I'm going to walk you guys down here to my Marquesa. And we're going to talk a little bit about hard baits. So what else could I possibly teach you guys about hard baits? Well, the biggest problem is confidence. So many of you guys are fishing just soft baits 100% of the time. And when I hold these fishing schools and these seminars, everyone wants to know about soft baits and not about hard baits. And I don't get it. Hard baits produce bigger, better fish. But to get to that point, before you're throwing those big hard baits to get the monster sized fish, you might have to take some baby steps. So I'm going to share with you 3 Mighty Mite hard bait lures guaranteed to catch fish and build your confidence. Let's go down here and take a look at them. Episode of FlatsClass YouTube is brought to you by Aquatraction, your go-to solution for advanced marine flooring. Whew. Tell you what, this is the first day it's been about 80 degrees in a long time, and I picked the wrong day to go fill up the shooting berm back there. Anyhow, let's get back to building confidence in you with hard baits. I want you to get confidence throwing big hard baits like Catch 5s, Catch 2000s, Mirrolure XLs. That's what I want to build confidence in you so you can tackle those bull redfish, those giant snook in fast water, those big, huge gator trout that are in that 25 and plus class. But to do that, you got to start catching fish on hard baits and put those soft baits down. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about a couple of I'm going to say my top 3 favorites that work for me every time, especially if you enjoy fishing along the swash channels on the beach, fishing in schools of Spanish mackerel and bonita, fishing dock lights at night where you can expect to catch trout and snook, sight fishing on the flats, fishing those potholes. Let me give you a couple of examples of baits here. Got one here. This is probably my number 1. This is the 9, almost hooked myself there, did a Bill dance. This is the 9MR. This is the mirror glass, if you will. Now the mirror glass is one of those baits that honestly catches everything. It's got some small hooks on it. These are probably size 7, they're not even 6s. I've bend the barbs down. But if you're looking for something that's gonna give you everyday steady action, this is it, I'm telling you. I use this in the lights at night. I use it on the beach. I use it as a fry minnow in schools of Spanish and bonita. You can sight fish with it. It does just about everything, and it's probably about my favorite. Now, second to that I really like to use a lot would have to be the number 14, and that is the Mini Dean. The Mini Dean is everybody's favorite. Very pilchard-like, very small pinfish-like, does a lot of damage when you're sight fishing redfish with this one. It's probably the best known for that. But it also can work on those same beaches. It can work in all kinds of scenarios that you might find yourself in shallow water. Those first two offerings, definitely shallow water oriented. So now you're going to say, so what do I do if I'm fishing the intercoastal or fishing a deeper hole in the mouth of a creek during a transition period? What if I'm fishing faster water? Maybe even a deeper bowl or basin in the middle of a flat that might have 5-6 feet of water in it. this would take forever to get down there? I've got an answer for that, and that is the 4MR. This is an old school bait, little heavier hardware. It's got bigger hooks. It's a lot more robust, and it sinks fast. I mean, super fast. I use it a great deal in the winter months, fishing holes, fishing zones like intercoastal canals, residential canals, and I have a lot of success catching everything on it, from flounder to redfish, especially speckled trout. And you can move this one a little faster because even in current, this thing will still get down. So it's a very versatile bait, and it's a little heavier. I mean, those first two offerings are right there between 1/4 and 3/8, if you will, where you've got a standard Mirrodine here that's at like 3/8. This is a 17, but we're talking the small stuff today. This one actually weighs more than that 17. How are you gonna throw these 3 Mighty Mite lures, if you will, and have success? Because you're not going to be able to throw them, you know, on your everyday rod that you have under the gunnel of a boat like this, especially if you're fishing boats like these, bigger skiffs. Maybe you're fishing center consoles and you're using trolling motors. You've got to get these little babies away from you. How are you going to do that? I'm going to share that with you right now. All right, naturally, it will require a special rod to throw lures this small. You're not going to be throwing them on that medium heavy action rod or a 7.5 foot rod trying to, you know, bomb this thing like a Hail Mary. You want to have some accuracy. And remember, you got small hooks on these baits. So it's got to be something forgiving, a rod forgiving enough that it won't bend them out when you hook a decent sized fish. So I opt for these bendy, parabolic type rods. The one I chose for this is the same one I use for Ned rig fishing, which is a 7-foot light action Zodius from Shimano. All right, this rod will throw everything from 3/32 all the way up to 3/8 of an ounce. Well, it doesn't mean that's all it throws. It will throw stuff heavier, naturally, and it may even throw something as light as 1/16. But that's the sweet spot. So let's put it this way. A standard Mirrodine, a 17, which is larger, is 3/8. So it gives you some versatility. Most of the baits I'm showing you here are below that 3/8 weight limit, except for the 4M. That one is closer to a 1/2 ounce. It's either 7/16 half or 9/16, I can't remember. I throw so many Mirrolures, I can't remember. But it does sink fast, and that's why it sinks fast. It's denser. And the hardware on it's a little bit more robust. Now I mated that up with, this is a Shimano Vanford, okay? This is the 2000 series. And generally I pack my 2000s either full of 6-pound Power Pro Super Slick V2 or 8-pound. Either one just depends on the scenario where we're fishing. Do we have cover? Do we not have cover? So that's up to you. But this setup right here is the ideal setup to throw these small Mighty Mite Mirrolures that are gonna build confidence in your ability to catch fish on hard baits. So hopefully, between the delivery system, building a little confidence in some scenarios that those baits will work in, we'll put a few more fish inside of your boat this year, this spring especially, because that's when a lot of these fry-sized baits are gonna be available to all the predatory fish you're wanting to target. If you like what you see here and you're learning stuff, you know what I mean? I'm helping you out. Give us that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and tell your friends. I want you to share these videos. It's my job to make you a better angler, but it's also your job to help spread the news because we want to help everybody. Until next time, Captain C.A. Richardson signing off. Keep them rods bent.